right, everybody. Welcome to Rainmaker Training and Coaching. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for being here, and let's get started. Quick review of the 5 topics that we're going to speak on every day on a rotating basis. One is lead generation and lead conversion. We spoke on that yesterday. It's on my YouTube page. Please go watch the video. Number 2, lead follow-up. Work like a farmer, think like a hunter. 3, using previews to build relationships. 4, creating emotional proximity. And 5, listing your way to success. Today is lead follow-up. And I'm going to start immediately by going to the whiteboard. And just going to do quick little pencil drawings here. I think one of the best ways to teach and learn is visually. If you're anything like me, this is how you learn. So that's why I do this. You have a lead, and that lead closes on a property they're buying, or it's a listing lead, and you list their home and they close. And let's just say the average commission is $10,000. So on closing day, the value of that lead is $10,000. Now, the very next day, this person is in your database. They still exist. They're now a past client. You are going to stay in contact with them, build relationships in order to be able to create value and earn the opportunity to work with them again, and also earn the opportunity to get referrals from them. But the very next day, that lead is worth 0. Now, the average homeowner sells their home, moves on average every 7 to 10 years. Now, you're lead generating, or you have marketing that is creating incoming leads. Let's say it's pay-per-click, and you get a lead, you click on it, you open it, you call them, and they ask you, what's the price of the property on Main Street? And you tell them, and you ask them, are you in the market to buy a home? And you hear one day, but I was just curious to see what this home was worth. We're probably not going to move until maybe another 2 or 3 years. Now, the average real estate agent would say that's a bad lead. However, if you got a lead and you called them and you went through the same questions and you asked them, are you in the market to buy a home? And they said, yes, we are. 2 to 3 months out, but we want to start looking now. You would say that's a great lead. And here's my point. My point is they're both great leads. The difference is follow-up. And real estate agents who don't follow up throw what they call bad leads in the garbage. They don't stay in touch with those people. Therefore, they don't earn the opportunity to work with them in the future. And it's lost opportunity. By the way, what's the value of these leads? It's $10,000. This one's worth $10,000. This one's worth $10,000. There's no difference. Now, the lead generation process looks like this. Everything to the left of that line is lead generation. This is where you're creating opportunity. And you talk to somebody who's interested in buying a home, or you talk to somebody who's interested in selling their home. It's a sell by owner, it's an expired listing, you're circle prospecting, but you've got a lead. Now, that lead lives in this space right here. And this space in the middle is follow-up. This is the key to success. This is where success happens. This is where failure happens. And what we're trying to do, what we're doing, excuse me, Beth, did you see me catch that? What we're doing is we are staying in touch in order to create emotional proximity. Emotional proximity simply means when I get serious about buying that home. This is me, and over time, I reach this point, and when I get serious about buying a home, or I get serious about selling a home, I'm going to hire the real estate agent who created emotional proximity with me. In other words, the real estate agent who is closest to me, because they followed up systematically over time. And then everything to the right of this line is transaction management. So if you looked at real estate like this, you have to master lead generation. you have to master lead follow-up, and you have to master transaction management, what you do in order to work with a buyer or seller in order to get them to closing. And you don't get to pick one of these and say, okay, I mastered that, but I suck at the other two. You have to master all three, and you have to master all three at the same time. Now, 5 key points on follow-up. Number 1, once a week for 8 weeks. Write it down. Once a week for 8 weeks. Purpose, in order to create top of mind. So when I think of real estate, I think of you. Now, once a week for 8 weeks doesn't mean that you call them once a week for 8 weeks. I want you to be creative. I want you to think outside the box. I want add in handwritten personal notes, mailing them a market update, sending them interesting information on the real estate market. Mix it up, but make sure you're communicating with them once a week for 8 weeks in order to create top of mind. Number 2, ABC your leads. A leads are buyers and sellers who are going to buy, who are going to list their home in the next 30 to 60 days. A buyers and sellers are buyers and sellers that are going to buy or they're going to sell in the next 30 to 60 days. B, buyers and sellers are 90 to 120 days out. And C, buyers and sellers are 1 day. There's somebody who's going to buy or sell when everything lines up and it's the right time, and 1 day they're going to buy a home, or 1 day they're going to sell a home. Now, again, what's the value of a lead? If the average commission is $10,000, they're all worth $10,000. A's are not better than B's, and B's are not better than C's. They all have the same value. Don't judge opportunity away. The only reason you're ABCing your leads is so that you have a pipeline that you can go to when you're looking at your goals and there's a gap between where you want to be and where you are. The first thing I would do if I were coaching you is I would say, go to your A's. Look at your A listings. Who is most likely to put their home on the market in the next 30 days? Call them first. Who is most likely to buy a home in the next 30 days? Call them first. That's the only reason you're ABCing your buyer leads and seller leads. All right. Number 3, be creative. Connect personally and add value. Buyer leads and seller leads are people. They're people first. They're not dollar signs. They're people. Connect with them. Be curious. Be interested in who they are. Ask questions, take notes, be able to connect with people so that the next time I call Beth, I can speak with her about, last time we spoke, Beth, your son was trying out for the baseball team. How did that go? Did he make the team? That's awesome. What position is he playing? Okay, I'm connecting with Beth personally. Be creative, think outside the box. 4, ignore the noise. There's so much noise that's telling you this is a bad lead, stop. This is a go nowhere buyer, go nowhere seller. This is somebody who's completely ridiculous. They have unreasonable expectations. They're out of their mind with their price. All of this noise. Noise can be other people too, by the way. And ignore the noise and just pay attention to the activities. 5, ask great questions, go deep, and mirror. Ask great questions, go deep, and mirror. Let me give you a couple of examples. If you sell your home, where are you moving? Curiosity. I'm moving to Tampa. So what's in Tampa? Family. Cool. How soon do you want to be there? What would that do for you? Why is January of next year important versus selling your home now and getting there sooner? Ask questions, be curious, go deep. Next example, what does a great buyer look like to you? This is a great question for sale by owner. What does a great buyer look like to you? By the way, remember they go to script school, they only have a couple answers. And the answer you're going to hear to this one is somebody who can afford my home. Your response to that is, awesome, I agree. And can I share with you what a great buyer looks like to me? You're going to say yes. And your response to that is a great buyer is somebody who sold their home yesterday and they need to buy a home to move into in the next 30 days. Or a great buyer is somebody who is in town for the weekend to buy a home. Now, if you were that buyer, are you out driving around looking at for sale by owners or off-market properties, or are you working with a real estate agent like me? They're going to say, I'm working with a real estate agent. Yeah, I agree. Now, if you're the agent, are you driving around looking at for sale by owners, or are you showing your buyer properties that are listed by a professional like me? Now, we're drilling down to, so if you're not attracting one of the buyers that we described as a great buyer, who are you attracting? When you talk to a for sale by owner who's been on the market for a while, ask them if they've had anybody ask to purchase their property with owner financing. Ask them if they've had anybody ask to do a lease purchase option. The answer is going to be yes. And here's the reason why. If I'm a buyer and I want to buy a home and I'm not pre-approved, or I can't get pre-approved, there's something in my credit that's stopping me. I'm calling real estate agents to show me properties that are on the market, and if they're doing their job, they're asking me if I've been pre-approved, and they're not going to take me out and show me homes until I do get pre-approved, which means nobody's working with me. So who do I have left? For sale by owners. For sale by owners basically have a sign in their front yard that says, if you can't get a mortgage, call me. So you're advertising to people who can't get financing. That's why you're hearing, would you do a lease purchase, or is a owner financing available? All right, next example. Have you ever been to a garage sale? The answer is going to be yes. If it's no, ask them, do you know anybody who's ever been to a garage sale? The answer to that one will be yes. When you're going to a garage sale, what are you typically looking for? More than likely, you're going to hear a good deal. Yeah, I agree. And why are you going to a garage sale to look for a great deal? When you buy something at a garage sale, who's selling it? The only answer to that is the owner. Is it possible that you're attracting garage sale buyers by selling your home by owner? Let's say you bought a watch at that garage sale and you paid $10 for it. Brand new, never been worn, still in the box, and the same watch cost $300 at a retail store, but now it's being sold for $10. If you went to the retail store and you had a budget of $300 and you found that same watch, would you buy it? Yes. Are you paying $300 for it? Yes. Why? Why aren't you paying $10 for it? You bought it yesterday at a garage sale for $10. Why aren't you paying $300 for it at a retail store? Well, the difference is one is being sold by a professional, the other is being sold by the owner. All right, another example. If you bought stock in Apple, or you name whatever stock you like to use, if you bought stock in Apple and sold it 5 years later at an average return of 10% per year, how would you feel about that? Their answer to that is going to be great. So you're selling your home. It's been 5 years since you bought it. You paid X. You're asking Y, and Y is 100% more than what they paid for it 5 years ago. Are they going to get it? The answer is it depends. Now, this is a mindset conversation. I want them to have the right mindset. So this is for the seller who says, I don't want to give my home away, and $450,000 is giving my home away. And I want you to help them look at things a different way. Is it really? Is it really giving your home away if you're selling it for $450,000? Well, not if you bought it for $300,000 5 years ago. You got a $150,000 return. That's a great return over 5 years. It's helping sellers have a different perspective. All right, last example. If you were the buyer, how much would you pay for your home? Why? I'm going to give you one more. We got time. In the past 3 months, I followed up with you 10 times. Just curious. How many times has blank called you? Blank is the other person they told you they're going to hire. If I ever list my home, I'm hiring Bob. Cool. So 3 months later, in the last 3 months, I've called you 10 to 12 times, just checking in, seeing how you are and seeing how I can help you. Kind of curious, how many times has Bob called you in the last 3 months? Guess what the answer is going to be? 0. Your follow-up to that is, who's more invested in helping you sell your home? Me or Bob? They're going to say, you. Come over tomorrow and list my house. All right, that's a wrap.